everybody, we're headed on a little road trip here, so stay tuned and you'll see what we're up to. So everybody, we're here at this is a viewal for an auction sale that's going to be coming up. And this guy, he was a lifelong Ford collector. He'd been collecting tractors for about 50 years. And he passed away, and his wife is going to be holding this sale now. So I'm not a real big expert on all of the older Fords. I've read a lot about them. This one's a pretty rare one. I've never seen one like this. Probably my favorite of them all is the Ford 6000 that you saw back there a little bit earlier. I don't know if I've ever seen a Ford Major or Fordson Major diesel. I've heard of them. Two of them. Here's another Ford 6000. This one is one of the earlier ones. When they first came out in 1961, they were painted red and gray. And then I think in like 62 or 63, they made them blue and gray to match the entire Ford line. So, like I said, this would be an earlier one. And then the earlier ones too have this style of grill on them. And I'll kind of show you the different variations here. I'll come back to them. So this one here with the single front wheel, this is a Ford 6000 Commander. And then they see how they changed the grills just a little bit. This is when they were older but changed just the paint scheme but kept the same hood design. Here's a Ford 8600. Little Ford 5000. These are the first ones here that had the in 1958 when Ford came out with their power shift transmission called Selecto Speed. There's the shift lever. Neutral park. The brakes on. In case you got tires behind the wheels. The first big job, I'm gonna try out the tractor there. We're just having a little bit of trouble. The battery is, get out of the way, Charlotte! The cat is gonna get run over. Yeah. But we had a little trouble. We had a little trouble charging the battery. The regulator shot on there on the thing, and I don't know if the regulator, it obviously is bad on it, but I don't know. I think those tractors are supposed to have, it's got a generator in there, it's supposed to have a positive ground, and they have it hooked up as a negative ground, so I don't know. But anyways, there he's trying it out, so. Anyways, that's that. Hi guys, it's Steve here, and I just thought I'd do a little video here today on the Ford 6000 that I bought. It's been about a week now since the auction sale, and I've had a chance to drive it a little bit, and So I thought I'd do a little overview on it. So anyways, first of all, I'd like to start out by saying thank you to my wonderful wife, Maria, for making this possible, because it was with her permission and support that I bought this tractor. Well, it's her and I just bought it on our own, so this is going to be our tractor. It's always kind of been my dream to have like a tractor collection other than just the tractors that we use here on the farm. So anyways, when this auction sale, it was only about an hour, just a hair over an hour from where we live. So it was a really good opportunity to be able to get some nice tractors and not have to go too far for it. I've really wanted one of these for a long time, and I haven't seen anything this close before, so I just kind of told her, you know, how much I wanted one, and that you don't find them this close. And even if you did find one like this, you're probably gonna have to go a long ways for it, and then you're gonna have to pay all that trucking to get it here, or you're gonna have to drive and go get it. So like I say, it was a really good opportunity, so I figured it was something we should pursue. So anyways, I thought I'd just kind of go over a few things here. I know a lot of people, you know, have talked about the Ford 6000 has Ford's what they call the Selecto Speed transmission on it, and a lot of people have kind of given the transmission a bad rap over the years, just because it did have some problems, especially earlier on. So this is your shifting quadrant here, and there's 10 forward and 2 reverse gears in it. And Ford was the first one to come out with a power shift transmission. They came out back in like 1958 or 1959 with this style of transmission. And when they first came out with it, the tractors that had them in there were like between 50 to 55 horse roughly, and so they didn't have as much horsepower to them. But then when they went up here to the 6000, they had a little more horsepower, and they the transmissions weren't quite designed for that much horsepower. So right away, the very first Ford 6000 that came out, they did have some issues with them, giving them problems, and they had to recall them and do some work on them. And supposedly they did get the transmissions, the bugs worked out of them. So this particular model here, well, when they started making them, it was in 1961. This one here, I have to look at the paper again, but it's either a 63 or a 64 model. And the one thing about the transmissions, they are hard to service because there's not a lot of like say older Ford dealers that are around that still have the tools to be able to fix them yet. So because there's some special tools that you need to work on the transmissions. But I thought that I would give a shout out here. There's a magazine that I get. It's called Antique Power, and there's an ad I've seen this in this magazine. It's a place called Arthur's Tractors, and see if you can see it here. There's their phone number and their website, arthurstractors.com, and they specialize in Selecto Speed transmission rebuilds, and then just working on vintage Ford tractors. So if anybody watching this video has a selective speed transmission that's giving him problems, they're the guys to take it to. And then I was just going to show you another magazine that this one's no longer published anymore. It was by the same company that publishes the Green magazine out of B, Nebraska. This is one of the last issues that they put out before they closed their this magazine down, and they did an article in here about the Ford 6000. So these are like the early ones here, the red and gray, and then they did that for like 1 or 2 years, and then they changed them over to being the blue and gray ones, just because Ford changed their tractor line in the early 60s, where it used to be where the ones over in England were separate from the United States ones, and then they wanted to keep, because over there they were still calling them Fordson, and here they were calling them Ford, but they wanted to change it so that it was what they called the One World Tractor line. So then they wanted all one paint scheme and everything, and like the same models and all that. So that's how they went to the blue and gray and went away from the red. So anyways, they said these tractors were really good for picking corn. They won a lot of corn picking competitions just because of the selective speed transmission. You could shift up or down fast depending on the conditions in the field. And I thought it was really interesting, one of the other things in this article here, that it said it was a design that you either loved or you hated, you know, just by when you see the grill there, how it looks. You know, I don't mind it. I think it looks fine. It reminds me of a Ford pickup from the 1960s when I see it. But anyways, I thought I'd show you as well this book right here. I bought this book in 2017, and this is what kind of got me into wanting to start buying Ford New Holland tractors. And so when I got to this chapter and I was reading about the 6000s and everything about them, that really sparked my interest in wanting one someday, just because of, you know, the selective speed transmission and just the look of them. And so I always kind of had that dream since I saw that. So anyways, that's kind of the deal about that. Okay, I was just gonna mention about the one thing that I really liked about these tractors when they got to the 6000 was that they sat up a little bit higher. And it seemed like the older Fords prior to this series, they didn't sit up as high. And that was one thing that I really liked about when they got to the 6000s, was how they sat up. And then I thought I'd talk too a little bit about like the engine on here. The Ford 6000, it had a 242 cubic inch engine, Ford engine. It was called the Red Tiger engine. And anyways, this tractor, it isn't where you just have your engine oil and then your transmission hydraulic oil is all together. It had separate compartments for, like, your hydraulic oil was up here. Take off this screen, there's these little wing nuts there, and then there's a compartment under here, and your dipstick, and then you can add the oil, and then you have an oil bath, air cleaner under behind there as well. Your transmission has a separate compartment as well. Your rear axle housing has a separate compartment. You just got to pop off that cover right there, and then you can get access to adding oil for that. Your PTO back here has a separate compartment, so you gotta make sure you check all those points on here. And actually, when I bought the tractor, the day I bought it, I was gonna get it up on the trailer, and I got it just about up on there, and it wouldn't move anymore. The transmission oil was low, and so it just stalled because it didn't have enough oil to make it go anymore. So there's a lever underneath of there that you have to disengage if you ever got to push or pull these tractors. So I disengaged it and got it to so you could push it, and they had a big skid loader there at the sale, and they pushed it up on there for me on to the trailer. So then once I got home, I had to go to town and get some oil that's specific for this tractor for the transmission, and then it got down off the trailer just fine without stalling. So but it needed probably about 3 gallons of oil. So I'll get this started up here, and then I'll take it for a little drive and show you guys what it sounds like. The alternator, or excuse me, the generator isn't working on here right now, so I had to have the battery charger on here for a while just to get the battery charged up. And I think eventually I'm gonna get like an alternator kit, because they make them for these, to put it on here. I'll probably just keep the generator just in case if I ever sell it someday to help keep it original. But alternators are just a little bit more practical, I think, in my opinion anyways. So anyways, I'll get this fired up, and then you guys can hear what it sounds like. Well, I didn't want to start up here, so while the battery charger is on, I thought I'd just show you something interesting. The guy that bought this tractor, that used to own it, anyways, when he bought it from an auction sale in Illinois, and it was Almond Auctions. It was an Almond auction where he bought it on. It was an online auction, so I thought that was kind of neat because they always sponsor classic tractor fever videos. So I'm just gonna leave that on there, I think, just as a kind of memento anyways. Well, I was gonna show you guys too these little hand grips that are on the fenders. I don't think all the Ford tractors had them on there, but it must be an option you can get. It's pretty nice for getting on and off. And then the other thing was this, well, I really like this tractor, was the step that's on here. It really makes it nice and easy for getting on and off. Okay guys, I got it up and running, so I'll show you what it sounds like. So you're always going to get your biggest jumps between like 4th and 5th gears, and then again when you go into like 8th to 9th gear, that's where you're changing range. Okay guys, I think I'm gonna probably call this an end to this video. My battery's getting low here on the camera. If anybody has any suggestions about it, or any good comments about running them, any good stories, maybe somebody in your family had one in the past, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. I always enjoy reading through them, and I'm sure we'll have some more videos coming up with this tractor doing stuff around the farm. I don't plan to use it too hard, but it is good to get old tractors out and work them every now and again. So okay, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll catch you later.